Not so long ago, I found myself thinking about how I missed the 5Ds era of Yu Gi Oh!, where, more times than not, just setting a face down defense position Raikou Lightsworn Hunter was combo enough. A time where the biggest concern to me was making sure that my opponent didn't have that fourth Lightsworn name in their graveyard to be able to summon Judgment Dragon, where a card like Dark Arm Dragon lived on the limited list for a long time due to being one of the most powerful cards in the game. The days of needing to meet the correct levels along with a tuner and a non-tuner to access synchro summoning. Days where tribute summoning didn't feel like a -1, and days where Jeff Jones pioneered one of the funnest strategies of all time, Quick Draw Dandy Warrior. The time where Blackwing wasn't just a meme deck. That's why I created this channel. Welcome to the Edison Club. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the Edison Club. Today, I am bringing you my 6th place finishing top 8 Evil Hero Rock Fiend deck, I guess, whatever you would like to call it, from the Nintendo Switch tournament last weekend at Picante TCG in Greensboro, North Carolina. This deck is pretty cool, but this deck also, I feel like, goes down as probably the worst deck I've ever played in a tournament. It was definitely a very odd tournament experience, and there are a few cards that I played in multiple quantities in the deck that I just outright never saw. So without further ado, let's jump into this deck profile. As always, guys, if you're enjoying the content, please be sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Really motivates me to keep going, make more deck profiles, make more content, more podcasts, all types of things of that nature. So it means a lot to me when you guys hit that button. So starting things off here, we have 2 copies of Legendary Jiu-Jitsu Master. I did manage to pick up the new Secret Rare from the new Speed Duel Duelist of Shadows box. These do look very beautiful in Secret Rare. Unfortunately, I never actually got to see how they looked on the field as I played all day long and never drew this guy a single time, unfortunately. Following up is 2 copies of Gigantes, which was yet another card that I played all day long and unfortunately never ended up seeing. So the theory here was that a card like Elemental Hero Prisma could send Big Peace Golem, which would therefore put an Earth in your graveyard. So you could go Prisma plus Gigantes to put early game pressure up. Also, Gigantes being a 1900 beater and crashing perfectly with Elemental Hero Neos Alias seemed like it would be good, but unfortunately we never actually got to test that out. So the 4 cards right there that we never saw throughout the whole day. Moving up into some other cards here, we have 2 copies of Evil Hero Malicious Edge. This helps you make your Evil Hero Malicious Fiend, and then this also is a Piercer. And it does come up sometimes where you just pierce someone for game, honestly. It says if your opponent controls a monster, you contribute summon it using 1 tribute, which is nice. And I think 2 was right. I think 1 might be too little. Definitely wouldn't ever want to play 3. We have Caius the Shadow Monarch, the card that single-handedly carried me throughout the entire day. Caius is very, very good, pretty straightforward. It's one of the best cards in the format. We have Gores and Tragodia. One thing that I noticed throughout the day was that my original theory on playing Tragodia was for added defense, but also that Tragodia could be a fiend for Malicious Fiend. And I actually found out throughout the course just playing the day that normally you make this guy with Dark Calling after you've already made this guy. So it's another way to like pull out high level or high attack point fusions instead of having to have like the full requirement. Like this will just be the fiend. So like if you fuse a Dark Gaia with a rock, you don't really get much attack. So this is when this guy normally comes up, is when you start fusing away with Dark Gaias that you've already used. So I don't think you really need to play Tragodia. Gores was fine. Gores is just Gores, so not a lot to say there. I have 2 copies of Prisma, 1 Ocean and 1 Stratos, which is the hero package of the deck. Prisma has multiple targets throughout the deck that it could send. Stuff like Big Peace Golem, Malicious Edge, and Neospatian Grand Mole alongside Elemental Hero Ocean, which can be used to set up your Miracle Fusion for your absolute 0 plays. Not much explanation needed on Stratos. And Ocean, like we just talked about, it recycles back your resources, and it also comes in handy with Prisma, with Elemental Hero Terra Firma being revealed from the extra deck. Next, we have some rocks. We have Grand Mole and Fossil Dyna. Never really got to use Grand Mole throughout the course of the tournament. I did send it off Prisma a few times. That was okay. Fossil Dyna was very good. Helps you OTK through Gores and stuff like that. Then we have 1 Snowman Eater, which is really just a water target for AZ, but it's the best water target currently that I've found. So he was fine. Then we have one big piece golem who I saw about as much as you would expect, a card that you never actually want to draw. I did see him quite a lot. And the other card I never saw in the tournament was Morphing Jar. So this card's good in theory because in the mid to late it can help you draw into your fusion spells. But like I said, I feel like this deck was pretty trash, so it's definitely getting taken back to the drawing board. I have no idea how I placed as high as I did, truthfully. One ofs, we have one MST, one Brain Control, one Future Fusion, one Heavy Storm. These are pretty much just the standards for these. And obviously we have Rhoda and then one second Rhoda. Originally, I was playing 2 call. I didn't really want to have that large of a commitment to the hero package, so I ended up just cutting it down to 1, and it was fine. I don't think that I would play more than 1 again. Then we have our fusion spells. We have 3 Dark Calling because our deck is centered around Dark Gaia and Malicious Edge, or Malicious Fiend. Then we also have 2 Miracle Fusion because we do want access to stuff like Gaia and Absolute Zero. Running off the spells, we have 2 Book of Moon, just a very all-around versatile card that I really am a big fan of. I usually put this in most of my decks. Going into trap cards, we have 1 Solemn Judgment, 1 Trap Dust Shoot, 1 Call of the Haunted, 1 Return from the Different Dimension, and 1 Regeki Break. Just a few different trap cards here. We have some good variation. Most builds do play Judgment, like Trap Dust Shoot. I'm normally not a huge fan of Trap Dust Shoot. I'm actually not really sure if I would play this card again if I was to replay the tournament. The one good thing about it was I did see Trap Dust Shoot when you want to see it the most, and that's when you're going first. So I guess I can brag on it in that regard. I saw Return a few times, never got to resolve Return. I got blown up before the time was correct, or when I really wanted to activate it. I learned throughout the course of the tournament that you really only are going to set this card when you're going to OTK the next turn, or when you're ready to activate it. Don't just ever set it early because you won't really get value from it. And then Call the Haunted brings back Ocean to recycle stuff. It brings back Malicious Edge if you send it off of Prisma. So gives you extra usage. Then Regeki Break was just a one-of card in the deck that could be used to out generic stuff in game 1, like Royal Oppression, Skill Drain, stuff like that. So it was nice having the flexibility of that. Then we have 2 Bottomless and 2 Deep Prison. Not really much explanation needed here. Trying to keep the tempo in our favor. So that rounds off the main deck. We go through this extra deck here. It's pretty irrelevant besides like the main stuff. You have 3 Dark Gaia because you play 3 Dark Calling. Multiple piece Golem to reveal off Prisma to send the big piece. And we have 3 AZ. You might notice that we only play 2 Miracle, but we also play Future. So there is the possibility that you could use all 3. It's very unlikely. Then we have 2 Gaia for the Earths, 1 Chimera Tech, and I have Divine Neos in here, but it really actually was not supposed to be in here. It's supposed to be the 2nd Fortress Dragon. I didn't play the build with Neos Alias and ended up forgetting to take this guy out. Terra Firma that we revealed to send Ocean, Grand Neos that we revealed to send Grand Mole, and then 2 Malicious Fiend. Shout outs to the new Speed Duel yet again for these beautiful copies of Malicious Fiend and Secret Rare. This comes up sometimes when you need to fuse a Dark Gaia. I never made this guy a single time, but I did realize that I was trying too hard to set this guy up multiple times throughout the game. When normally you bring this guy out first, hit for a lot of damage. If they do kill it, then you're going to Dark Calling into this guy who's 3,500. He's pretty large by himself. And this guy says if your opponent's going to go to their battle phase, they have to attack this guy. So sometimes you can put this guy out with like Fossil Dyna. It's sort of like a soft lock because they're not going to be able to get over 3,500 without special summoning. Going into the side deck here, we have 2 Light Mirror for Light Sworn. Obviously, we have to respect that. We do have Mind Crush for other decks that search. I did end up playing against someone and opening up Mind Crush and Trap Dust Shoot, and that's just kind of unfair when it happens. We have Trap Hole for Gladiator Beast, Blackwing, anything that we kind of want like a 3rd pseudo bottomless against. 2 Trap Stun for the trap decks. We have 2 Soul Taker for Frogs because we really struggle to break the dupe lock. We do have this in Caius, but outside of that, we don't have a lot of ways to get over it. We have a 2nd Fossil Dyna for Frogs, Giant Trinade for trap decks. We have 2 Cyber Dragon, which could debatably actually just be cut down to 1 because you do have access to Prisma. And a lot of times you don't need the second one, but there are some times in some matchups where you just want to put in Cyber Dragon as just a free special summon to kind of bait trap cards. It kind of works like MST in some scenarios. 2 DD Crow, and then 1 Snipe Hunter. He's a fiend. He blows up stuff. He blows up Royal Oppression, gets you over things. Funny ruling is that Stardust Dragon cannot negate Snipe Hunter because Snipe Hunter, his effect does not guarantee destruction. So very good there. So guys, this is the 6th place finishing somehow. I don't know how, somehow, but 6th place finishing Evil Hero Rock deck from the Switch tournament at Picante TCG this past weekend. Hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. I'll be back soon. I'll try to keep you guys updated on this. This is going to be my new baby that I play test with for the next few weeks. I'm going to change some things around and see how it ends up working for me. So guys, this is Mike from the Edison Club signing out until the next one. Take care, everyone.